Hello, this is Stan Smith, founder of Pushing Social, and you found your way to the weekly Pushing Social blog and content marketing training. And tonight we're going to be working on, or we're going to be going over the topic of how to discover awesome blog post ideas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through my favorite spots to really get some ideas started for generating great blog posts. And these idea starter spots, I guess you can call them, have been working out very well for me, and I'm really excited about getting you these resources in hand. So that is what we're going to be talking about tonight. Just a few just a few housekeeping things. One is that if for whatever reason your video on your screen hangs, then you will want to go ahead and hit refresh on your browser. That way you'll refresh your system and hopefully the video comes back for you. If you have any trouble during this session with the audio or the video, just go ahead and use the chat box that's below this video just to let me know, and if I catch it, then I'll go ahead and try to fix that for you. Okay, and at the end of the session, we're going to have a Q&A time, so stick around for that. You can ask any question you want, and I'll stay on as long as needed to answer your questions. So again, thank you for being here tonight. So how this usually works is that we start off with a little bit of training. I'm going to have a presentation, some slides to take you through, and then after that, you can ask me any questions that you have based upon the content that we went through. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and switch over my screen to the slideshow. So wait 1 second here, and let's see if we can get this going. Okay. All right. So let me make sure I got the right screen here for you. There we go. Start the screen share. So how to find awesome blog post ideas. And for tonight, I think it's a lot easier if I show you or I take you through an actual process for a specific subject. So tonight we're going to talk about workouts. Okay, like fitness workouts, workout routines, and we're going to be looking for stuff that'll be good for what I call cube warriors or your cubicle warriors, people who are sitting in an office all day long, so they're 9 to 5 professionals, they don't have a lot of time, and they are looking for some ways to get fit. Okay, so that's what we're going to start with. So first of all, in terms of a tool to use when you're kind of brainstorming your blog post ideas, is I just like to use Google Spreadsheet. It doesn't have to be fancy. All you have to do is set up Google Spreadsheet. Uh-oh. Okay, no, you can still see me. I was worried that you couldn't see me, but you still can. Okay, so you can use a Google Spreadsheet, put it into 2 columns. The first column is your term, okay? So whatever term that you're using to search for your idea. So in our case, this will be fitness workout. Maybe we can use terms such as professional, out, at work, or you can even talk about a specific demographic such as moms or men. So that's where your term will go in that first column. And then the second column, you will have how you can go ahead and look at some possible titles for your blog post. So that could be how-to titles or a list post template, which is, number ways to. So that could be 10 ways to do whatever your idea is. So that's your normal list post beginning. Okay, so we have the term. Okay, or whatever idea that you come across, you list that in your left-hand column, and then your right-hand column, you take a stab at creating a quick headline for it so you can keep it in mind. So that is the document that you use to collect your ideas. So let's dive into a few ways for you to get some quick ideas, and I'm going to take you through some of these spots that I like using. My favorite area to get great blog post ideas is a site called Quora. Now, Quora is a question and answer website. Okay, so in Quora, what you do is you go in, you ask a question, and then everybody who is a part of that community, they'll look at your question, and if they can answer it, they'll go ahead and record their answer. The cool thing about Quora is that you're able to upvote certain answers or downvote certain answers. So what you'll see over time is that the best answers kind of go to the top. We're not so concerned about the answer quality. What we're looking for is questions that are good idea starters, and we can get some ideas of what we want to write about. Some good blog post ideas based upon the questions that are being asked. So here for this particular session, or just for this particular query, I used workouts for professionals, and I saw out of shape in a couple of areas, so I just went ahead and put that in as well. So we have workouts for professionals and out of shape. And when I put in workouts for professionals, I started to get some of these questions, especially for out of shape. I started to get these questions. So we have, what are good hacks and tips for exercise, fitness, and working out? I've went ahead and bolded good hacks, exercise, fitness, and working out because, for one thing, I know that office professionals, they tend to be a little bit more tech savvy, and I'm not sure if you noticed this, but the term hacking, not only for computers, but hacking your life or hacking your relationships or, hacking your fitness program seems to be a kind of a hot term out there. So I went ahead and bolded that because I knew that was going to give me some good ideas for a particular post idea. Also, I like highlighting synonyms for fitness or working out or things like that. I like to keep those in mind because those are other ways of referencing this particular topic. We have here, how much money should someone pay for a professional workout program? So in this case, a person wanted to know how much they should spend on something like one of those infomercial workout programs like P90X or for Insanity, for example. So that might be actually a good post. That can start an idea, maybe a post around, should you pay for those programs, and if so, how much? So I think that's a great idea. The next one there I have is, what kind of exercises would you suggest for a seriously out of shape person? The seriously out of shape person is interesting to me because you're going to have people with different ranges of fitness, right? So you're going to have to be writing blog posts for different types of people. So this seriously out of shape person could be an audience segment that I may want to write a blog post for. So 3 exercises for the seriously out of shape person is an idea of a headline that you can try. And another one here is, what's a good martial art for someone turning 50 and out of shape? And the phrase I really liked in there was turning 50 and out of shape. I think that that's another demographic that you can go after, or another audience segment. So you have the people who are seriously out of shape, and then you have the people who are kind of turning 50, or they're getting along in years and they want to get back in shape, but they don't want to do something that's too strenuous or something that they may hurt themselves with. So that might be a good term for them as well. So I think that's a great idea. So let me see here. I just want to make sure that everyone is on okay and everyone can see my screen. So I'm just going to do just a quick check here for everybody. So let me see here. Good. So let me make sure that everybody can see okay. All right. Good. So I'll keep going. So the next piece is the next place that you should go to find good blog posts is Amazon. And a lot of people ignore Amazon. They don't realize that Amazon is actually a gold mine for great ideas for your blog posts. Okay, so what you want to do is, I kind of put the search box up here, and you'll see this when you go to Amazon. You can put in books, and then you can put in, or you want to search in the book department, because of course Amazon sells everything, so you just want to narrow down where you're doing your search to the books area. And then you want to have workouts for professionals, and you want to go from there and see what they pull up for you. And when I did that, it pulled up a couple of titles for books, and I like to rank them based upon reader ratings. So the top books, or the top rated books, will rise to the top. Okay, so we have number 1, Making the Cut, the 30-Day Diet and Fitness Plan. Okay, so that is an interesting book. One thing I took out of that is that this 30-day or a time span seems to be very important for this audience. The next thing is Back in the Saddle to Fit, 10 Steps to Reclaiming Athletic Fitness for the Busy Professional. So we have our keyword that we're looking for, professionals, busy professionals. But again, we have that 10 step, which leads me to believe again that a list post or list posts might do pretty well with this group. The next one we have is Shaping Up Your Body, Your Mind, and Your Career, which is an interesting piece. This was a really high-ranked book called Fit to Lead. And what I liked about it is that people who are dealing with fitness, they do think about their body and their mind, and the focus is for them to have more energy and more clarity on their job. That's one reason why they may want to start a fitness program. So I took that into account as well. And then the last one there, top 10 tips, again, is kind of pointing to that list post will probably do fairly well with this group. Okay, so that is Amazon. And during this process, I'm always grabbing some of my ideas, and I'm putting them into that spreadsheet that I talked about before. Next, we have Google search suggestions. Okay, so this is, when I say Google search, when you go to Google, and you probably have already noticed this, and I gave you a screenshot of this, is that when you go to Google and you start to put in a search query, you would actually get suggested phrases that Google has brought up for you, okay, or suggesting for you. And those are actually really great areas to get ideas, because what Google is doing is that it's showing you the search phrases that most people are using. Okay, so this is a really good way of zeroing in very quickly on what is most popular. Okay, so we're starting with some of the things I saw in here is workout for moms. Obviously, in this first area here, we have work for out-of-shape moms. And then we have how to get back in shape. I think is a great post idea. Okay, and I saw that in here as well, how to get in shape fast. And also, one thing that you may want to know, you may notice here, is that when it comes to fitness, people want to do it quickly. Okay, so that is another kind of clue that of a particular or type of blog post or a blog post subject that I could use. Good exercises for out-of-shape men. We also have quick ways to get in shape. So this is what I kind of pulled out here from just doing some searches on Google and paying attention to what Google is suggesting. All right, this happens, they provide these suggestions at the top when you put in your search query, and also after you've typed in your search query and you get your listing, they will also place these at the bottom of the page as well. So you're going to want to scroll down and take a look at those. Let's take another look at another area. YouTube. Now this is an area where I have just started to really mine for blog post ideas, and it's absolutely terrific in a sense that videographers, people who do videos, and there's some people on video, a lot of the people on YouTube are putting some very sophisticated videos out there, and they're making a lot of money with their videos. So these people are really good at finding they're finding subjects that people will gravitate to and people will instantly like. All right, so when you go to YouTube, you're going to really get some of the cream of the crop in terms of ideas, and the most relevant and appropriate ideas, the most up-to-date ideas. So I put it out of shape, and you can start to see that in YouTube, just like in Google, they start to suggest certain ideas for you, okay, based upon other Google search or other YouTube searches. So here we have out of shape, in shape guy from the 50s. It sounds like a TV show, but here's another. We have out of shop workout there, out of shape running, out of shape women. So I mean, like, you're talking right there, you can start to see some of the potential ideas there. Okay, and if you look at the videos associated with this, you're going to get some junk in there, but you're going to get some ideas out of these listings as well. So on YouTube, we have light exercises for when you are out of shape, and I think that's a great potential topic, all right? Because you're talking about a person who's out of shape, trying to get back in shape. They probably don't want to jump in with a huge or a strenuous exercise program. Workout for the out of shape 30-something. That's another niche. We had talked about 50-somethings before, 30-somethings now. I mean, like, that's another group that you can take a look at. Starting to work out of shape and where to start. So I think that's another great key phrase. So this out of shape and where to start, I think that's a terrific potential blog post title, all right, that you can pull out and use for yourself. All right, so the post ideas I had, some of the titles I threw together were quick and easy exercises for fitness beginners. So people who are kind of conscious of the fact that they're really not in shape, or they may not be familiar with a fitness program or the exercises, kind of having that, I thought that was a great idea. How to get your 30-something body back in shape. And another one here is where to start if you must start exercising. So if you're in a situation, I know that this is a big market, women who want to look great for their wedding day, okay, or get into that dress, or looking great on their honeymoon. Same thing with guys, for that matter. I know that that's a situation where you must start exercising when you really don't want to. So I thought that might be a great blog post idea. All right. So if you liked what you're hearing so far, just go ahead and type in amen in your chat bar that should be below this video, and we'll go from here. I'd like to hear what you have to think. So let's go and look at Google. Now, Google has something called Google Trends. And Google Trends is a compilation of the top search terms that are being used, okay? And they compile those and they make those available. So at any given time, you can see what is the most popular ideas at any given time. All right. So in this case, we have workouts and exercises. So if you go to Google Trends, I might go during the Q&A session, I might dive in and show you the actual screens here. But if you go to Google Trends, google.com/trends, you can scroll down the screen and you can see what are the top terms for a given subject. So in this case, workouts and exercises. You'll see here that one is a sanity workout. A lot of people are doing searches on that. Then you have CrossFit. If you click on the more here, you'll get a more expanded list, which will include bicep workouts, 7-minute workouts, kettlebell workouts. So you're getting a real good snapshot of what's popular. So how I use this data is that if I know that there's particular phrases that are very popular with people, then I will go ahead and try to incorporate those phrases into my subjects. Okay, so I will write a blog post around that particular subject and use those keywords in my titles. So in this case, how you can use those is, number one, 3 insanity exercises for fitness beginners. Okay, so we knew here that the insanity workout was popular. I actually did the insanity workout, and it was insane. And what I realized is that it's really not for fitness beginners, but there's maybe 1 or 2 ideas in there that I thought was really good. 1 or 2 exercises, I should say, that I thought were good enough for a beginner to use and kind of build up and get some good results from. So 3 insanity exercises for fitness beginners I think is a good start. Another idea is quick kettlebell workouts for busy professionals. Okay, so again, we're using this kettlebell workouts and we're getting that into a blog post title. Another idea is how to get great results from the 7-minute workout. So in this case, you're piggybacking on already a popular term, and maybe if you're writing workout posts or you're writing fitness posts, you're probably familiar with the 7-minute workout, and you may know some quick ways to get good results. All right, and from before, we saw that term hack. Hacking. So you can use how to hack the kettlebell workout for the best results in a little, in little time or in a short time. So you can kind of use phrase that you heard from other areas, combine them with what you're seeing in this information, and come up with some really good titles and really good blog post ideas. Okay, so that was Google Trends. So those were I believe those are 4 good areas there. Let me take you back to the top, and we'll go through them really quickly here. 1, we had Quora. That was a question and answer area. That's Quora.com. Go in there. I think you can sign up. It's free to sign up. I think you can register with just your Facebook or via Google, and you know how that works. And you're in, and you can just start searching from there, and it's a really great way of getting some good ideas. One thing about Quora is that it's a little tech heavy, meaning that a lot of people who are on Quora are in the technology field, so you're going to have to kind of understand that as you're doing your searches. You got Amazon. You can do searches for books. You can also do searches in magazines. I think that's a really good area as well. You can do Google search suggestions as you're typing in your query. One thing I didn't mention before when we were going through Google search is that type in how to type questions. So how to get in shape with a question mark, you'll oftentimes get different results in that suggestions that Google offers you. All right. So I think that's a really good way of kind of narrowing down to something that you can use. The next one was YouTube. All right. And the last one there was Google Trends. So that is the areas that I use to discover some great blog post ideas. And I think those are some areas that you will find that you will be able to kind of get some idea starters going and be able to get a feel for what your audience wants to read. All right. So with that, that was our training tonight. Like I said, I like to make these quick. I know it's a Friday night, and I just wanted to kind of give you something to chew on, something that you can use over the weekend that will be helpful and relevant for you. Now, if you're on our website and you want to chat with us, just go ahead, and if you have any Q&A questions or any questions for the Q&A session, go ahead and add those to the bottom there, and I'll be happy to walk through and answer any of your questions. Okay, I'm just going to check here and see if there's any questions. All right. Looks like, all right, looks like there is no questions, so I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes. I'm going to check another screen here, and then with that, I'm going to make sure that this gets up as a replay, and then you can reference this any time you like, and also check your email, because I will be doing another training just like this one next week. So if you have any questions, I'll stick on for a little bit and answer those for you, and we'll go from there.